and we still want feedback on this. It's called Live with the Sea, and it's got a number of things, really cool things here. One, we've got, you can go on the networks here, and you can see, and this isn't quite ready yet, this is all the protected areas. Very soon this will just be filtered and show all the LMAs around the world. You'll be able to click on them and get more information on them from the Protected Planet website. So this is linked to the Protected Planet database. We've got handbooks here, and we want more information from all of you. This is, anyone can upload information. You can add comments, feedback all over. You'll notice that it's not branded. So this is not the Blue Ventures website. This is not the LMA Network website. This is something for everyone. And then discussions. So we've got a number of discussion topics. We've put in some questions to get things started. But we want to have a place where community members a lot of times are not yet online, so can't get directly involved in this unless they're supported by NGOs, who, a lot of which have computers and can give access to communities to this, or to school children. And we can use this as a resource to have global discussions or regional discussions or national or subnational discussions about local management. So I just want to plug that in before we finish up and hand over to Al for just some closing remarks. And thanks everyone, and sorry for interrupting all the time.
Well, thank you, Sean, for sharing us through that workshop session. I'd just like to reiterate our thanks to the funders, the partners, the MacArthur Foundation, and the local heroes that are here today and who we're here to support. We really are in awe of what you guys are achieving in coastal management around the world. And we really do feel that having you here in the center of the global conservation community can help us advocate for some of those governance provisions that enable LMMAs to grow in countries where they haven't yet seen the support they have as they have in the Pacific. Brian over there has prepared an email sign-up sheet, which I'd encourage you all to leave your email addresses on at the back of the room. In addition, please leave your email address on the sheet, which you're going to leave on your chair. Please, could you also, when you leave, put your chairs back in a semblance of normality, otherwise we will be sued by the next group because we've destroyed the room. Just before we close, I would like to invite any last comments from, we've got 6 minutes, from partners. But firstly, I'd like to invite Colleen Fergan from WCMC, who's one of the organising partners of this session and manages the World Protected Areas database. Colleen's, we had a discussion in our group about the fact that LMMA really is a catch-all term for small-scale fisheries management, community-based MPA. We didn't want to get drawn into a discussion on definitions in the 2 hours that we do have, but it's very important that we do continue this discussion about what exactly we mean by LMMA while we're all here at this Congress. So there is a session coming up on Indigenous peoples and local communities who govern and control natural resources. So I'd just like to invite Colleen to say a few words about that before we all disappear. Thanks.
Thank you very much. And actually it's not a session, so it's not one more thing that you have to add to your schedule over the next few days. But I did want to just mention, because this is such an ideal opportunity, that the LMMA network, I first learned about it in 2005, and it's so exciting to see how it's grown and the inspiration that you all are giving to the rest of the world. There's another whole community out there that's focused around this. If you've heard of ICCAs in the last few days, it's referring to Indigenous and Community Conserved Areas, which is exactly what LMMAs are as well. So it's another several letters to learn, another sort of new term, but in general, this whole idea of communities governing their own conservation areas, managing those, is very, very important. And so one of the things that we've been working on over the last few years is trying to understand more about these areas. So there is this world database of protected areas, but in addition to that, we've developed a registry of Indigenous and locally conserved areas. So I would invite anyone who's interested in registering your community area with that. It's held separately from the World Database, and we're trying to use this as a way to raise awareness to the CBD and to other global mechanisms that communities are really making a very strong commitment to a lot of these conservation goals globally. So we would love your involvement. In addition to that, we are developing a toolkit that isn't a new toolkit, but essentially it's a way to bring together all of the tools in a very loose term, essentially what you all are doing as we sat in our small groups today, already hearing so much that you're doing in your communities, and we would love to bring that together a little bit more into one very simple place so that communities who aren't part of the LMMA network but who do this kind of work can learn from your own processes. So we're trying to make a very simple kind of guidance piece for those communities, and again, I welcome your insight and input to that. So I have some cards. I'll be here for a few minutes afterwards, so it would be great to talk with any of you who are from the communities who are very interested, or NGOs or others who work in this area as well. So thank you very much for your time.
And just before we close, one more comment from Leah from Australia.
Hi everyone. I've been a humble participant of the organizing team behind the scene, and the only thing I want to say is that I really want to thank Blue Venture, and in particular Sean, who has been incredible in coordinating and listening to all of our ideas and incorporating all of them into what has been a succession of events, and in particular Blue Venture for getting the funding and coordinating a number of you to be here. It's fantastic. So my applause for Thank you.
So I personally haven't had enough. I haven't had enough of talking about LMMAs yet. So there is another session starting immediately at the Blue Planet Pavilion. It's a video session on LMMAs from the Solomon Islands. So we'll be going there. If any of you want to continue talking to us, we'd love to see you there. I know Colleen is eager to meet as many community reps as possible. But for now, we must put the chairs back and be on our way. So
It's Protected Areas Pavilion.
Protected Areas Pavilion, I'm sorry. And thank you again, everybody, for participating.